90% of the time, you don't need that new piece of gear. Like, we all suffer from it. Anyone that's in the music creation space suffers from it. We've all been there where we've been scrolling through late nights on eBay or Reverb, tons of stuff in our basket, and we're like, I'm gonna get that, or let me buy that. And this isn't just for hardware. This is for guys, you VST bandits, you hoarders, you dons that have tons and tons of VSTs that you've bought on, what was it, the Black Friday sales, and you've never used and touched. The same even goes for me with hardware that I've bought in this exact studio. I've maybe used once or twice. And I was like, nah, I need to get this. This is going to help bring my production to the next level. Oh, this is going to make the mix sound tight and clean. That's never the case. And we need to be real about it. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's times where you need new gear. That's why I got these boxes in the back here. This ain't a video about the specifics of that. However, there is use cases where you're like, okay, I've exhausted everything I have around me and there's a physical need for something. And for a lot of us, we get that conflated with, I'm stuck in a rut. Maybe let me just buy this for inspiration purposes. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you do want to get something to help spark something new. But sometimes we can achieve the same thing by limiting what we've got. Just wait with me for a second here. Like, have you ever tried, if you're talking from a production standpoint, you know what? I'm only going to use 3 notes on this one sound on each VST I've got. That's the maximum. And the creativity that sparks up is something different. You don't always have to spend money on something new to get the most out of what you've got, right? I know it's kind of crazy because today with social media, it's quite easy to get caught up on, this producer has all of these plugins, or this studio has this piece of gear, that piece of gear. I need to get to compete. It doesn't work. It rarely works. I can even say for myself, I thought, getting a Neumann U87 AI, this is going to bring in so many clients. Did it bring in so many clients? Nah. Don't get me wrong, when people phone up, they're like, oh, you've got this mic, you've got this pre, you've got this chain. But that wasn't the thing that actually made them stay at the studio. Something completely different. So us as engineers, producers, studio owners, we need to get this concept of our mind that we just need to buy. Especially in today's climate, we can't keep up with that. Like, if I wanted to have all of the gear that I felt like I need, I'll be bankrupt. I'll be real with you. If anyone wants to give me a LA2A, hey, send it my way. I'll send you in the DMs, chat to me, we'll get that. But no, on the real, like, I want to know from you guys, what's a piece of gear that you bought and you had instant remorse? Well, maybe not instant remorse. Maybe a month, 2 months has gone by. You've looked at the piece of gear, the box, or you scrolled past that VST and you was like, this was useless. I really didn't need it. Like, to be transparent with you guys, I always wanted a Fender Rhodes for years just because I loved the sound, the tone, the history around it. And I was like, I am going to buy it. I did not know how to play keys, by the way, but I bought the Fender Rhodes. Obviously, it's changed now. I can milk my way around the keys board, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and be like, this purchase may just be for the history around it, the allure. Or in my case, it was a mixture of the sound, the history, and the fact that it looks great as just like a centerpiece. That being said, every time I make a production in my studio, I always go to the Rhodes. So in some cases, it's justified. But a lot of the times, we don't have to go outside of ourselves too much to be like, let me get this purchase. Let me do this and that. If you guys have got this far into the video so far, please like, subscribe, share. It does a lot for the channel. Trust me. Listen, we got tons of videos that we want to get out and we want to engage with you guys more, whether that's about royalties, production, music release strategy, general gear debates and talks. We want to do more of that with you guys, but we can only do that if you guys continue liking, sharing and subscribing. So please, guys, if you can do that one favor for me, and it's free. Well, let's get back to the main video. I'm saying all of this, but like you guys, I'm a gearhead too. That's why I had to switch to this view here. You can see the keyboards. I've got this here. But the other side of the argument is, even though I'm like, yeah, this is going to inspire my creativity, sometimes it actually does. For me, there's something always about actually being tactile with the instruments. It really inspires something different for me. And it allows me to put my head in another mind space. However, we shouldn't rely on gear to do that. That's why I feel like sometimes limiting ourselves is more the answer than just accumulating more and more things. Because again, this can make some of our production sound busy. And not even just our production. This could slow up our workflow, which could potentially, for some people, lose clients. Because we work in a world where you have to be fast, fast, fast. If you're too busy trying to juggle around all of this stuff, it starts to get cumbersome. So you buy new gear, whether it's hardware or software, you have to sit down and take the time to learn it. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's something that you have to put in perspective. Because ultimately, we're here doing this thing to create music or to aid the creation of music. So if we're adding something that actually hinders that, it makes you think, was it really worth it in the end? To be honest, in the live and studio environment, a lot of us like to have new toys to tinker, to help spark our creativity. But as I was saying from before, we can't keep doing that. We suffer from gear acquisition syndrome. It's not always needed. I've unboxed the gear behind me because this is stuff I actually needed. And I know for most people it sounds super basic. Buy what you need, not what you want. Also, not what you think you need. For me to even purchase this gear, I had to go through a checklist to make sure, okay, I'm not spending money for no reason, just because it looks cool. I know you see the UV meters. This seems to get clients going crazy. But there had to be a method behind the madness. In this case, let me paint the scenario for you. I'm recording a live trio here, and there's about 2 other instrumentalists that are floating. Recording guitar, bass, keys, all of the boards around. And literally I'd run out of inputs. There was no other way I can stretch it. I needed more DIs going in and mic pre's. So I had to really take a step back and be like, okay, I've exhausted everything. I definitely need to make this purchase. And that's something that a lot of us don't do. A lot of us will look back. Again, we saw that review on Instagram, or we saw that reel on TikTok or whatever, and we heard a patch and was like, I like that. Or we heard someone say this does something crazy for your mix, and we jump straight on it. We need to take a step back. Fight with me in the comments. I'm really interested to see what you guys think of this, because I really think a lot of us can do so much more by cutting back. It's the same with good production. After a while, you start off adding loads and loads of layers. And then when you start playing it back, you're like, I have to remove these pieces out to have the adequate amount of space to make, if it's the vocal flourish or whatever the main story you're trying to tell is. And funnily enough, I think it's the same with gear. Don't get me wrong. There's some stuff that we need to purchase for sentimental value. It's there. I get it. But think twice before buying your gear. Guys, let me know what you think of this. If you've enjoyed the video, we can do more of these. Like, subscribe, all of that. And I'll catch you guys next week.